Hey, it's Wednesday, and I came up here a little bit earlier than I usually do because I wanted to change a little bit of what's going on here on this platform. So, without any further ado, let's get the show started. Hello, 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 hello. Welcome to Unveiled Vibrations. I am your host, TD McCollum, and I like to talk about a few things with you. Here on the show, Unveiled Vibrations, we like to resonate with the other side of silence, meaning talk about the things that we keep to ourselves, may talk about in uh, closed settings, and etc. It is November the 19th, 2025, and quite a bit has transpired over the last week to 2 weeks. The world has changed a little bit in dynamic from the last time we were here. And I would like to share some of the stuff that I have seen recently that has been presented to me. Um, Lately, I've been shifting and changing things here as far as the format goes, so I could um, include people here in the space and allow this space to be utilized by everyone. Um, I am going to light the fire. These are some of the elements that I present and bring in to the show that's behind the scenes, unseen by most eyes. And okay, I got a lot to unpack here. Um, Hang on one second, people. I'm still alive. I'm here. I just need a minute. Okay, cool. Let's get that. Shall we do this? All right. Cool. All righty. Ladies and gentlemen, probably about a week or two ago, I announced that I'm making some shifts and changes on the Unveil Vibrations channel. Um, Amongst that, I will now begin to feature stories that I've caught my eye um, on social media here on the platform, and I'm trying to work out the kinks on some of that stuff, so things will be clear. Um, and also introduce some of musical elements to things as well. Um, and most of importantly to me is I want to know what you guys think about some of these topics that's brought up here onto the platform as well. So, in order to do that, if you look in the comments, I am making a post. In that post will be a link to come live and share your thoughts, and we can talk about it, or um or not, or if there's something that you wish to talk about, you can bring it up here and present it, and we'll discuss it and have the conversation. Uh, that is the biggest part of what Unveil Vibrations is now all about. Let's come together and have the conversation about the things that we see out in the world. And the newest title that I'm giving this series is a weekly dose of reality. Because at times we can get self absorbed in our own life and whatever is going on. And we lose touch with reality and the things that may not come across our radar. And I'm also looking into the lighter side of that. So if there's something funny out there that you see and you think I would like to present it, go ahead and send it to me. Um, you can reach out to me the fastest on Instagram. And that is simply, I thought I had a banner up there, but I don't. Hold on, give me a second. I'm going to have to create that. Good Lord. Uh, Bam. Mr. TD McCollum on Instagram. Um, if it's on TikTok, you can send it to me there as well as Mr. TD McCollum on TikTok. Do it. I said, do it. There it goes. You can reach me on Instagram and TikTok. The most active I am is during the day on both. I like funny stuff. I like serious stuff. I like stuff that we can have the conversation about. So you can reach me there and we'll have the meaningful conversation. You can listen to my music on all streaming platforms, but Spotify at this time. Uh, miss, just look up TD McCollum and come here. I have to update this right now. Um, I'm moving the showtime on Wednesdays from 8:30 to 8 to kind of, help myself not stay on here too late because I already am a little bit long winded because of all the things that I see. But um, in order to accomplish my goal, I feel like bumping things up 30 minutes will allow me the time frame that I wish. Let me edit that. Not O's, zeros. Yeah, what are you doing? What are you doing? All right, there it is. Wednesdays, 8 p.m. Eastern. So I had a couple people drop in at this new appointed time to say hello, and I would like to say hello to you. Hello, Mr. Dustin Butler. Welcome to Unveiled Vibrations, weekly dose of reality. Thank you for joining us. And we have the lovely J Star Brett. Welcome, my lady. So the earlier portion of the show. I appreciate you dropping in. Um, so um let's get into the topics. Recently in the news, um we are now in a phase in which the Epstein files are this close to coming out. But there's this constant back and forth about the release of them and whose name should be redacted and whose name should not be redacted. And what's so funny about this is it's you have a president who campaigned on this and was really trying to drill it in until he found out that his name was the primary name in the headline of it all. And it's like, oh, there's no HD files. It's all a hoax. Is what came from that. And it's fake news. It's not real. The reality of it all is there was definitely something real about it. And as things started coming to the surface and bubbling up, we found out how more real it is. And the closer and closer we got to the reality of the truth coming out, the more people tried to distance themselves from the reality of the facts that you had an individual in Jeffrey Epstein that liked to have a little too much fun. And he figured out how to profit from that fun. And the people that were willing to pay, allegedly, are people of more affluential status and power and connections. And now that one of them, Mr. Donald Trump himself, uh, has himself in a little bit of a pickle because what was done in the dark is now coming to the light. And now he wants to backpedal and put his foot in his mouth and act like on one day he doesn't care if it's released, and then on the next day it doesn't exist. It's just a democratic attack against him. And oh wait, the next day it's, well, there's a bunch of Democrats in there and we're going to release it with their names only so you can see who those nasty boogers are. It's the back and forth on this has reached an all-time high of, it's a bunch of mess, and I'm not sure if I really care anymore. That's on one hand. The other hand is like, I really, really want to know, who are these horrible people that was so bold enough to explore whatever Jeffrey Epstein had to offer and buy into this whole island of beautiful women, as they put it, where we're finding out on the back end as the truth come to light that these were young women under the age of 18 primarily that were being exploited. And just the other day on social media, when uh, uh a young man by the name of Dean Withers was talking to a couple people about it, a gentleman comes on and says, I don't see what the big deal is. What's wrong with sleeping with young women? I don't understand what's the fuss about. And it's like, so you're okay with people sleeping with underage? Well, they used to do it all the time back in the day. And I shared the headache that he had. Like, what do you mean you're okay with this? And what it boiled down to was people want what they want. And what they want right now is for, in my opinion, society to just completely crumble. And my first video tonight that I'm bringing up, uh, some acquaintance of mine sent me this video, and in this video, it featured Stacey Abrams breaking down the plot and plan of the right wing folks and really spelling it out for us how their plan has turned our world upside down and have really flipped our reality into some mess. And it just left me with my jaw on the ground. Like, could they do this and really get away with it? And as I reflect back from day one of entering the Oval Office, being sworn in as the newest president in this year of our Lord 2025, yes, the and for people to buy into that plan and just normalize these things, jaw dropping. But before I get to that, I would like to say hello to a few people in the comments. We have the great Miss Kim is here. She says, "Hey, Dustin. Hey, Jen. Hey to you, Miss Kim." She also says, "Keikos has the White House on lockdown since the bill arrived on his desk today." Of course, because he's running scared, terrified of what it will do to have all the cards on the table. We'll come back to that in a little bit. We have Bianca is here. Hey, Bianca. She says, "Happy Wednesday, fam. Happy Wednesday to you as well." And we have the lovely JoJo Speaks in the house. Hey, JoJo says, "Hey, y'all. Hey to you too, sir." Bianca says, "Happy Wednesday, JoJo Speaks." Miss Kim, J Star Bright, and Dustin. And JoJo Speaks says hello to everyone. And Miss Kim says hello back to you guys. I am dropping in the chat the link to join in the conversation if you wish. It will be there all show long. Um, and no further ado, J Star Bright says, "Hey, Dustin, JoJo, Bianca, and Miss Kim. The link is there for you to join." So I have to get a little crafty with this thing. And here is the video that hit my feed, and I was just like, all right, this begins to make sense. Will it come up? Come on up. Open. All right. Listen to this.
Judiciary that's either complicit or neutered. And it's neutered because if the president, if the executive refuses to follow the rules, then you've neutralized the judiciary, because the judiciary doesn't actually have enforcement power. Number 4, you go after the media. With the media, you make sure that you demonize and criticize the legitimate media so that nobody trusts it. And then you create an echo chamber so that the only truth that people hear is the truth you want them to hear, even if it's not truth. Even if you put truth in the name, it's not true. Then you start to gut government. You fire all of the people who know how to do stuff. You break democracy by making people think they don't need it. The best way to do that is to make sure that the things that they've learned to rely on are no longer available. Because then you become the only way to get what they want. So you fire the CDC so that vaccine rates drop and the disease rises. You fire FEMA so that when there's a natural disaster, the only way you get what you need is by begging for it. So you gut the civil service so that no one can actually do the work that democracy is supposed to protect us for. At the same time, you hire a bunch of people that you call loyalists, and you put them in place so that they don't hire anybody who doesn't agree with you, but you also put them in positions of power. So then your next step is that you go after the people who do the good work. So you sue law firms, you sue philanthropies. Then step 7, you got to have someone to blame. They blamed everybody. They blamed women, they blamed children, they blamed people of color. They blamed immigrants. They are doing all of that because they know at step 7, if you can push that forward, then we're fighting each other and fighting for survival instead of fighting for our country. And then you start to incentivize private violence. That's step 9. Maybe you send the National Guard and Marines and you militarize kidnapping people off of the streets, throwing them into detention camps, and then arresting people who dare to challenge and calling any question obstruction of justice. Civic participation, the First Amendment, is the 9th category, because if you can militarize your response, you also convince.
Let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments section.
And once you've gotten to step 9, step 10 is easy. You make sure no one ever votes again, because now you've got them captive, now you've got them scared, now you've got them poor, and now you've got the power. That's autocracy in 10.
Ladies and gentlemen, that video, I don't know if you were able to hear and see it, but this video, oh my God, said so much. And I honestly felt in the very moment like we were literally in a movie in which the one in particular that I would put frame in reference to was the very last Dark Knight movie, Dark Knight Rises, with Bane, and the villain took over the city. This is what I feel has happened with our country. And the fact that people just normalize things as they happen makes it far more cringe for me. I would love to know what you guys think about it. And do you think that Democrats could actually do something to combat it? I know we just recently had a whole election series on November 4th where the Democrats won a lot of seats that they needed to be able to fight against this regime, is the word that a lot of people are throwing out there to describe this newly formed cabinet that has entered into the White House as of 2025. Post your comments, and I have a guest that I'm bringing up right now. I have with me in the green room, Mr. Dustin Butler.
What's up,
Mr.
everybody?
Dustin, how you doing tonight, man?
Here. I just want to congratulate you on the new show, and you're doing an awesome job so
Thank
far.
you.
And
Thank you.
I hope you continue to do this way, because I have a lot of things to say, and a lot of things I want to see a lot of things change in the country. So I hope you continue to do it this way, and you're doing a good job so far. Mm-hmm.
Thank you. What are your thoughts about some of the things that Miss Abrams presented to us in that video?
Well, I think she's doing a good job so far, and I came at the end of the tail end, so I'll have to go back and watch it again. But I think she's doing a good job, and I think we're gonna have to stay prayed up because I think it's gonna get worse before it gets better, to be honest. And that's just how I feel tonight about the situation.
Absolutely understand how you feel about that. One of the things to hear it out loud, I think makes it a little more real versus when they were going through the campaign of 2024, where it was quote unquote concepts of things.
Yes.
To hear it out loud now, after we have witnessed some of these things being enforced
hmm
and enacted, we're like, whoa, wait a minute.
Yes, it's very shocking to me, Tyrone. It has came to this, and I think it's sad that the when you and I are having this conversation tonight, even though it needs to be brought to the conversation, but I think it's sad that we had to get this bad off. We had to get this bad before anything was said, and I think that this shouldn't have happened this way, but it has happened, and all we can do is pray about it.
Absolutely. So one of the things that had irked my nerve about the campaign
hmm
run for both parties is when information was presented and it was just presented in a way that it didn't seem real.
mm
It was so easily dismissive. And then when people were saying, hey, there's a website for
Right.
Project 2025, there's these documents
hmm
that's available for you to view openly. How is
Yeah.
it that people are just so willingly submissive to it just being fake news?
It's because they want to believe. It's believe they want to believe what they want to believe, and they're going to continue to think different. They're going to continue to support these people, no matter what they want. If they want to see it or not. I seen what you're talking about, and I didn't like it. So I didn't like how the 2024 election went. To be honest, it's sad to me sad for me to say that, but it's the truth, and people need to open their eyes on the situation because it affected me and everything. But so myself, yeah.
Do you think that we are too far gone at this point where we
I
can't
do,
be re-be?
I do.
Or
hmm
could you elaborate a little more on why do you feel that we're too far gone?
I feel like I don't think that we're going to get any kind of changes between now and not unless he when he gets out of office, we're going to have to stay prayed up. And I think that we're going to continue to get cuts.
Um, I'm starting to question if that is a reality or not. If we're the reality is that we're too far gone because as of this week, we
Mhm.
see that the Republican Party is kind of breaking apart a little bit, and people are
Mhm.
pulling away from the status quo that once was before the government reopened.
Mhm.
And
Well,
starting to make me
I see
wonder.
what you're talking about. You're talking about Marjorie Taylor Greene, right?
Yeah,
So I think she's only she's only one of the pieces of the puzzle. We got other people that need to see this, and we're gonna see what happens between now and then. But
because
she's only the one piece of the puzzle, you know.
I,
But I do agree with you. We're starting to see some changes, but I'm just gonna stay prayed up because I already been affected by it some more, so I don't want to. I
how
already been affected by it, and I
how
just
has
mhm.
things affected you personally?
uh
If you're
my medical stuff. Yeah, medical.
because what my understanding has been is that a lot of people don't think it will affect them
hmm
until it actually does, and then everyone wants to the
Well,
question
see, I had to get.
answered. Why?
If
Why
I can,
me?
if I could say this, I will say this on your panel.
Mhm.
If I had to get a new wheelchair earlier this year, and my insurance denied it, so I had to get it out of my own pocket. I had to get another way to get it, because the insurance wouldn't pay for it.
And to know that, like with insurance, the way the system has been set up is we pay all this money into the system to have assistance when we need it, and for them to just be able to just deny people based off of whatever they make up
Yeah.
as the reason to deny. And
hmm
there's no appeal system for it. There's no, well, can y'all give a partial and I can pay? There's nothing. It's
Nope.
like, but they still want you to
Just a
pay.
denial letter. Just a
You know,
denial letter. Yeah.
they send you a denial letter and then they still want you to pay your monthly premium.
Yeah.
And to understand where Donald Trump is trying his best to dismantle the Affordable Health Care Act, aka Obamacare,
hmm
and his concept as of today, I believe he was talking about uh, people having to find their own health care and pay for it themselves out of their
Sure.
own pockets versus coming to the government.
Mhm.
I Number one, I feel like he's severely misinformed about how the affordable healthcare system works, period, because he doesn't read. We all know
Church.
that. But on top of that, I think it is the ideology of the Republicans to always have this whole thing about
hmm
less government, and what we find out when there is less government, there's
Sure.
less oversight and there's more corruption.
I also feel like he don't care about people that has a disability. He don't care.
That
All he
has
cares.
definitely been underlined and underscored
So,
since this summertime.
hmm
Um, when he was out there with the disabled veterans, and then his rhetoric around them started to come up to the surface, and it's like, well, how do you're blaming the victim in this situation where you're like, it's their fault that they're like this. It's their fault they have to be in a wheelchair for the rest of their life. But they
I
got
have
there
cerebral
because of the
palsy.
truth,
I've been in a wheelchair all my life, so
you know?
it's not my fault. I was born with it.
Right. And
So that's right.
to
hmm
take such a stance and you don't know these people and you never even took an opportunity to listen to their story and at all because it doesn't suit you and your agenda, it makes you think that the age old word that the Republicans constantly threw out there about Joe Biden, oh, he's out of touch.
He's very out of touch, and so are the rest of them. hmm
And it makes you think that all of it is only an agenda to serve their own purpose and not the American people.
Correct.
How
Exactly.
can we get back on the track of serving the American people then? Is the question. Do you have a answer to that? What would you like to see?
All we can do is I don't have an answer to that exact question, but like I said earlier, all we can do is stay prayed up and then wait to see what happens in 2028.
Mm, mm,
Mm-hmm.
mm. That's a lot of years from now to 2028,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of time for them to
Like I said,
enact.
and like I said, Tyrone, when I first came on the panel, and I'll say it again, as like I said, we're going to get worse before we get better.
eh, Hearing that things are going to get worse before they get better makes me wonder how we as a people can come together to soften the blow. I like what JoJo Speak says here. It sounds like a master plan to me, in which uh, Stacey Abrams was echoing and laying out the plan that pretty much came out of 2025, and to know that the Republican Party also have additional plans like Project Esther and all this stuff going on in the background that they're kind of like softly booting. The master plan ultimately is to destroy democracy. And the reality is we got to fend for ourselves, because the government people that we've sent there are no longer serving the people, they're serving themselves. Um, as we saw in the recent bill that the House passed, where some members are allegedly getting $500,000 as a payday for them, for their votes. I just, when are we going to get back to the American people and serving the people versus serving ourselves? And honestly, I feel like things are at this point of where, unfortunately, our votes kind of loses its value overall. And when it has reached its ultimate peak of zero value, I think America is in for a rude awakening. And the awakening is the fact that there is no coming back. Like Dustin was saying, like we're too far gone. And at some point I began to theorize, and it started to craft from theory to more prophecy of the government in which it's a current formation will die at some point, and a new government will form in its place.
Yes, I
I
agree with you, Tyrone, on that part. I
I
do 100%.
I
Sorry, I had to go on mute
wholeheartedly
real quick, but
believe
I'm
that.
back.
And Ms. Kim says here, Keiko signed the bill. I'm sure any Republicans' names in the files were redacted and Democrats were left visible. They had been working on this for months. And Ms. Kim, I absolutely believe that had been the goal, because, and I'll say allegedly to cover myself, these people have been paying into the Trump system. What I mean by Trump system is the affordable way of covering yourself by shelling out as much money as you could possibly throw at the current president and hope that your problems will go away, or your pot of favors will run us over because you paid for it. It's
hmm
That's a little scary to me that you can set that up as a bit of a shadow government, as they were talking about many times over in the past, where they would
Yes.
say allegedly President Obama was receiving gifts and stuff from people to do this, that, and the third, and
hmm
and it's like, well, we see you doing it in real time. Like, we don't have the evidence. Even when you were talking about Hillary Clinton was getting this thing while she was running her campaign, it's like, well, we see you in real time put your hand out, them putting it in your palm, you closing your palm, and you putting it in your pocket. We see that.
Yeah. Mhm. It's I don't I'm just kind of speechless right now. But I'm just thinking about a lot of things right now.
Because like the new world
The thing
form of
you're hitting
government,
you're
this new world form of government that I see coming, it's more segregated than the United States has ever been. I think that's a more scarier environment than what we currently see,
mm-hmm.
in which you're divided on race, you're divided on religion, you're divided on just common decent things such as food, housing.
Mm.
You're divided on education. And then you're going to be divided on the wealth gap. Those 5 areas
Mm-hmm.
I feel like are going to just break apart into subsets where it will be issues that people will eventually become, I guess, in a sense of a delegation approach to things. Like the black delegation present their issues to the new form government, the whites present their issues, the Asians present their issues, and then it's all these other, well, the ultra poor present their issues, the LGBT present their issues, and everything becomes so segregated to the point where there is no order, there is no cohesiveness. It's all fighting for what they want.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, that is fascism. And when somebody brought that up at the top of the year,
Yeah. And it's sad to say that, but it's the truth. Thank you for your time.
when it was brought up, people dismissed it as, no, that's fake.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about that now? Is the question. As we seen it, like the ultra wealthy getting extra wealthy, the poor are getting cut off from food and housing. It makes you wonder, like, hey, when will it stop? And I don't think it will, because like you said, it if we gotta wait till 2028 for it to stop, that's a lot of pain to struggle through.
Mm.
And to think that that could be the very thing that pushed our nation into a civil war, as
Mm-hmm.
people have been predicting for years that the United States will have another civil war. And it's like, well, how are we to change or delay that? Is it inevitable or is it not inevitable? How do you feel about that,
Uh-huh.
Dustin? Do you think that all of this that we're going through right
It's
now will
I don't know if you
lead
can
to it?
delay it or not, but that's we can stay prayed up, and that's pretty much inevitable in my opinion. Mm-hmm.
Mhm. I do believe in the power of prayer. The the power of prayer, in my opinion, enabled the Democrats to win so big on November 4th, 2025. The problem I felt was after November 4th has passed, everyone that prayed for November 4th stopped praying because they're like, oh, thank God, things are changing. And instead of continuing to pray as things begin to change, they stopped. And I think that enabled things to take a dramatic turn,
Yes.
you know? How do you feel about that thought of people prayed for November 4th and then when November 4th
Yes.
came and they stopped praying?
I don't know about.
Mm-hmm. Coming
You
to
broke up. Can you repeat that again? I'm sorry, you broke up on my side.
uh the question is, how do you feel about people praying for November 4th, and once November 4th came with
Yeah, I just
votes?
I just gonna stay prayed up, Tyrone, because I don't know what else to do but other than pray and pray for the better.
Gotcha. I agree.
Sure.
Coming to the stage now, we have Miss Kim. Miss Kim, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing okay over here fighting a cold.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
eh, um, one of the things that I think is going wrong on the Democrat side, the Democrats' messaging is so poor. They really need, like, we have the top Democrats, the ones who are so much older, and I hate to say this, but they are really out of touch. They really need to step back, retire, and let some of the younger ones speak up, because there are better ideas and better ways to campaign. Their messaging is not good.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, I don't know who is going to be the Democrat nominee in 2028. It's looking like it's going to might be Gavin Newsom. I don't have no clue who he would pick as a running mate. Um, but unfortunately, this country is just not ready for a female president, black,
Mm-hmm.
white, or whatever. We cannot. They can't even do Latinos, because Latinos are just so stuck on voting Republican. I don't even think they truly understand what they are voting for, but they are voting against their rights. And until the Democrat Party can get their messaging together, we're going to keep running into this. Um, Project 2025 did not become a hot topic until Taraji P. Henson mentioned it on the BET Awards last year. I heard about Project 2025 way in it before that. And then if you go down that rabbit hole, there's Project Esther,
Mm-hmm.
Agenda 47.
Right.
Everything was there, but they know they are banking on the general ignorance of the population. Oh, I'm not about to read all of that. They're going to do what they're going to do. You have to go into things informed. You have to know what they're going to do. People did not believe him when he said, "Oh, I'll just be a dictator on day one," and the crowd laughs. First of all, Trump is not funny in the least bit. Like, nothing he says is ever funny. So I don't think people believe that he was going to do what he has done. His first presidency, there was more, he did not have so many yes people around. He had a few, but there were still people who were like, I'm a constitutional loyalist. This is the Constitution. I cannot go against that. I'm a career politician. I'm a lawyer. I can't do this. You've had people who have lost their law licenses trying
Mm-hmm.
to fix the election for him.
Yes.
Now, this time, Pam Bondi has no business being the attorney general. She is basically his lawyer. All she is doing is fixing things for him. The Republicans are acting as if they have no clue how government works.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mhm.
they are just like turning a blind eye. But I think, some of them are starting to wake up. I don't know why it took these Epstein files for them to be the ones to wake them up. But I'm I don't understand. And it's like he can say 11 times, "Oh, I don't know that man. I didn't know that man." You knew him. He said in an email, his brother even confirmed they were the best of friends for over 15 years.
Exactly.
You knew what that man was into because you were also into it. I just
Facts.
I have never seen anything this corrupt in my life. This is like we are watching a TV show, but it's not a TV show. It's real life, and we're in it, and we're all being affected by it.
Right. I the element of the TV show, knowing that he
I can't hear
came
you. You're
from that.
muted.
I'm muted.
Did you? Yeah, I can't hear you.
Oh, what? That's crazy. Can you hear me now?
Mm-mm. It's really weird.
Huh.
Can you hear me, Tyrone?
Yeah, I can
Can you
hear
hear me?
you. Not totally sure.
Okay.
Jen said
So
she could hear
maybe
me.
it was on
Okay,
my
I
maybe it
can
was
hear
on my
you
side or
now.
something. So that's why I asked you.
Oh, okay.
I can hear you now.
Got it. Um, what's crazy to me is to know that um my gosh, that they could do these things. And like he said, and get away with it. But
Hmm.
now you got people like Steve Bannon is like, well, if the Democrats seize power again, everybody's going to jail. And it's like, well, why would you go that far to say that? What did
Yeah.
y'all do
Hmm.
so egregious that you assume that you will go to jail on
Because
day
I,
one?
because the Democrats are going to prosecute because like the things that Pam Bondi is doing, the attorney that is prosecuting Comey, she's not
Mm-hmm.
even qualified. He just
Mm-hmm.
snatched, it's like he basically snatched this woman off the street and put her in this position. And she doesn't know what she's doing. Nothing he does is correct. It's not the right way that things are done. He does not follow the law. He thinks he's above the law because they have, and then the Supreme Court. You got 6 justices in your pocket.
Right. Right.
And 6-3, I'm sorry, by I'm gonna take it back a couple of years. Ruth Bader Ginsburg, she should have retired. She should have stepped down. That way Obama could have put somebody else on the court. But she stayed too long and then she died. And then they rushed Amy Coney Barrett and the way they
Mm-hmm.
did that. I'm like, what world are we living in? This isn't how you appoint a Supreme Court justice. They pushed her through so fast.
Right.
And I'm like, I am tired of this. I'm tired of the law not being followed. I'm tired of them acting as if they don't know what the Constitution is. I am tired of them dismantling systems that are supposed to help people. He has not done one thing to help anybody besides the wealthy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's definitely true because when people asked him, the reporters asked him recently about the prices of food
Hmm.
going up and him saying that things were going to go down on a day one, he defers and blames Biden.
Yeah.
When
Mhm.
all of the terror stuff came back up to haunt
Mhm.
him, it's Biden's fault. I I in his own words, he talks about leadership and how a president should be in his own words, and then he's doing the absolute opposite
Mhm.
of that very same thing that he's saying. And it's like, so who is holding him accountable?
There's nobody holding him accountable. They just did a report a few days ago. He's lowering some tariffs on certain
Hmm.
goods and products. And he sent out a press release announcing that. Well, but people don't stop to think. You raised the tariff sky high in the first place. And then he wants to look like a hero because he releases a press release that says, "Oh, and I'm lowering tariffs. I told them the tariffs were too high." What? Like, and nobody, the press corps does not call him out because he has packed the White House press corps with right wing and conservative media who
Hmm.
don't challenge him. They don't push back. They barely ask him any questions. They laugh and joke with him. I'm like, what? We are living in like this dystopian world. And I agree with Dustin, when he said we have to stay prayed up. We do have to stay prayed up. And
Mm.
whoever gets into office next is going to be spending the first year of their presidency d- undoing everything this fool did, trying to put the
Hmm.
systems back in place. And people are talking about the SNAP benefits. That's only
Yeah.
temporary because he wants everybody to be halted and reapply for benefits, and he's appointing somebody to go through each application to make sure the
Hmm.
people are actually eligible. First of all, do you know how many people there are in this country?
He doesn't.
And they're going to go through each application for all 50 states. Who has that type of time on their hands?
Well, in order
That
to,
would that would take years. That
it
would
would
that
take,
Yes.
it would
that
take
would.
years,
Mm,
or you would have to have a massive hiring of people to
Yes.
do that after you just fired a whole bunch of people this year alone.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so,
Yeah.
what do you
mm,
do in that situation? You talk about having too big of a government.
mm,
Now you're having to enact a big government to execute your plan.
It doesn't make sense. And I don't, like, my mom said this to me recently. He's
yes.
just, he's
Mm.
just the
It don't make sense.
face.
It don't make. Mm,
They knew that they could prop him up,
Hmm.
put him out there because he loves the attention, he loves the spotlight, while they are in the background unraveling this country. And he's too stupid to realize he's being played. That's why Benjamin Netanyahu, he wanted him to be president. He didn't want to deal with Kamala Harris.
mm,
Right. Somebody smarter,
Yeah.
because she would call out the BS,
Mm-hmm.
just as Biden was calling out the BS
Yes.
until his health got to the point where he, he needed to take some time to
Yeah. Yeah.
dedicate to his health.
Yeah. When Biden ran the first time, um I remember saying, I agree that he is the only one who can get us out of this. He can get us through this COVID mess and all of that. His message when he first announced that he was going to run against Trump, he should have said, "I didn't get the opportunity to run the first time because my son passed away and I needed to take some time for myself. I'm going to run because I'm coming back to try to save this country. I'm only going to serve one term because I am an older man." That does not mean that to me that would have been that was the message to run on, because 4 years, as we all we're getting older.
mm,
Hmm.
And I think that he should have said, I'm going to run for one term. Whoever my vice president is, that's who I will put up as I will, defer to them if they want to run. That's how it should have been. That would have given Kamala more time. She only had 107 days for her campaign.
Right.
And she had some excellent on her website. She had some excellent programs and things that she wanted to
Hmm.
implement. But this until America deals with its first sin of racism,
That's number one.
we're just not ready for a woman president. And I'm not to say that men are not can't run this country, because we have had some good presidents,
Yeah.
but
Hmm.
it's just time for something different. I think a woman, they talk about women being emotional. You got a man in office, a woman, a reporter asked him a question. He didn't like the question. He was like, "Quiet, Peggy. Do you know how fast I would have leaped across the room, windmilling him?"
Facts.
Like,
Hmm.
Facts.
what? And they're calling women emotional? He can't even take basic criticism.
That happened recently with ABC,
I
and
Hmm.
seen it. I seen the interview.
they're
Mm.
calling for this person to be let go from ABC because of his feelings were hurt by the question, while the Saudi prince was in the Oval Office with him, and it's like, well, it's a legit question.
Yeah, it is. It was a legit
Why,
question.
why you
And
can't
how
answer it?
the Saudis and America have never been allies. And you got this man sitting in the office. This man killed somebody. He ordered the beheading of somebody, and you inviting him for tea and croissants. Oh my God, I am like so sick of
it
him.
it lets you know the tone in which this regime, as
Mm-hmm.
I'm calling it, like calling it what it is. This regime is all about the money.
Mm-hmm.
They don't care about anything else but the money.
No.
And I believe the first time they were in office back in 2016, they realized how much potential they have and how much access to money that they didn't have before that they now have, and they needed to get back to it as
Mm-hmm.
soon as possible. And they devised all these plans to get back to where we are right now.
Yeah.
The problem with this on the other side, Democrats have no plan of action at all. We can see
They
that.
don't. They don't.
Their ultimate plan is all we need to do is just win back the House and the Senate.
No, they
No,
need better strategy. They need better strategy. It's time. Like Pelosi, she just said she's not running for reelection.
mhm,
Good. Take the other ones with you.
right,
Like
right,
all of the older ones. I hate to say this because I love Maxine Waters. It's time for her to step down too.
I was just gonna say that. Hmm.
yeah.
Hmm.
Because they have put in so much time and have put up the good fight that the strategy that they once utilized
Hmm.
during that time period is absolutely ineffective right now because it, it the thought is, well, if it ain't broke, what's the use
Don't
of
fix it.
fixing it?
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
And my thing is like when you don't realize there's flaws in things, like the belt on the engine starting to wear and tear, instead of
Mm-hmm.
replacing that, your idea is like, well, I'll just let it go until it
Hmm.
completely falls off. Now, the Republican Party has retailored their whole identity to the point
Mm-hmm.
they're unrecognizable almost.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But
They
They
bes-
are.
they've
Hmm.
allowed him to become it's not the Republican Party, it's the Trump Party.
right, the party of Trump, and
Mm-hmm.
to label that
You
simply
can say
as
that again for the
MAGA,
people in the back.
you
Say it
can't
Mm-hmm.
even
again.
say MAGA no more because MAGA is completely changing now with Marjorie Taylor Greene.
And I
becoming
don't
the new
buy
face
that
of
for
that.
I don't buy that her for 1 second, because she is still not an ally. She still has horrible rhetoric against the LGBTQ
Hmm.
community, immigrants. Her thoughts on immigration is disgusting. Um, she's okay with him weaponizing the military to go out into these different cities.
That
I
part.
don't buy her little turn, her little 360 one bit.
And when you bring up militarizing and coming out in the city, now Charlotte, North Carolina is the latest to be adding into the city of attack. I saw a video recently where some gentlemen, all they were doing was putting up Christmas lights, and ICE rolls up on them, asking them about their immigration status. And they're like, if it wasn't for the owner of the house coming out, guns blazing, they would have harassed them to the point of putting them in the vehicle,
Mm-hmm.
and the job wouldn't have got done. It's just normalizing that
Mm-hmm.
is more hurtful to our country now
Mm-hmm.
in its current state,
Yeah.
because everybody's like, well, that's happening over there. It's not happening to me. I,
He's not going to be satisfied until he has military presence in all 50 states.
when we're there, and that was in Project 2025, by the way,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
having a military presence in all 50 states.
Mm-hmm.
When we're there, martial law is going to be made so much easier. And
And
everybody,
that,
they don't understand what happens when we reach that state.
mm-hmm.
There is no fighting back
No.
at that point. There is no, well, we're going to take back our country from this regime. It's game over. GG. Good game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The also in Project 2025, I want to go to education for a quick second. If in the public high school students have to, there's going to be there's a stipulation in Project 2025 that public schools have to administer a military exam.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking, okay, what if the kid doesn't want to go to the military? What if they actually want to go to college? And I'm like, this is just this forcing of forcing people to do things. If you low income, they basically, you don't have any rights.
Right.
If you have a little bit of money, okay, you might be okay. And if you wealthy, the world is yours. I mean, he is really creating a society of the haves and the have nots.
Absolutely. Because once we're in that state, um, it makes it more difficult for people to rebel,
Hmm.
because they're fighting for survival over just regular lavish things of life. So at that point, there's no such thing as going on vacation when we
No.
arrive to that.
Mm-mm.
It's either you work or you die.
Yeah.
Either you serve this military, or I'm gonna throw you in jail
Hmm.
and make you serve somewhere else.
Yeah.
And to think that he escaped all of that for some bone spurts, and to know that there's already things in place. The selective service is a thing that they used to use back in the day to enact the draft
Hmm.
for young men. And to know that now you're going to try to just move that whole system to the side and create this whole thing of militarizing kids.
Mm-hmm.
And when we're militarizing kids, now you might as well go back into slavery, in
Right.
my opinion,
Yeah.
because they don't have a choice.
Mm-hmm.
They're born into it. And to understand that that concept comes from countries that are doing it nowadays, like the Germanys, the Israels, where everybody, when they reach a certain age, has to go into the military and serve at least 4 years before they
Mm-hmm.
can go into regular society. And because they're always in this constant fight, 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 fight mentality as a country, guys, stay ready for war
Mm-hmm.
mentality as a country. And to bring that to the United States, it, in my opinion, you're setting us up for a world that we're not ready for.
No, we're not. They're not prepared for just. It'll just be
My question. I
anarchy in
know
the
we're not ready for it,
streets.
but my question is to Miss Kim. When do you think we're going to be ready if we ever get to that point?
I don't think we ever will.
Hmm.
Like it's like forced militarization. Um, it's and a lot of people, like there are so many people walking around. Oh, I didn't vote for this. I didn't vote for this.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't.
Hmm.
You might not have voted for this, but you did vote for this,
Right.
and because you were unaware. And I don't know how you allowed this man to snow you once again, um, and get back in office. And it is 10 times worse than it was his first presidency.
Hmm.
Um, I feel so sorry for people who are in situations where, they don't make enough money. They might not have enough. They have to rely on the Affordable Care Act for their health insurance.
Right.
Like I have a friend, she's my coworker, but we're also good friends. Her daughter is disabled. She gets SNAP benefits and other financial benefits for her daughter. And it's not that my friend doesn't make enough money to care for her daughter, but this is what she's entitled to because she's blind, um, and so she'll never be able to live on her own.
Sorry about
Her
that, Tyrone. My phone went dead, so I had to plug in my phone. Sorry about that. Go ahead.
she so her daughter won't be able to live on her own. So that's extra money and help that she gets from the government to, take care of her needs.
Right.
And I'm just like, he doesn't care about people like that. The man even told his own brother who has a disabled child, "Oh, why don't you just take him out?" He actually told this man, "Take him out to a field and kill him." Like he was like, "He don't even know who
Yeah.
you are." I was just like, "How can you be so cruel? How could you even say something like that to somebody?" And people
Because
hear these stories and it doesn't phase them one bit. And I'm just like, how are you not affected by this? How is this not bothering you?
the, I truly believe it's because
I don't know.
people's
I don't know
reality,
what the next 6 months are going to look like,
it's not their reality.
but every day is some new fresh batch of chaos coming out of this administration. And it's just like, what else is coming? Like, okay, he released like these Epstein files. Now we're gonna wake up tomorrow and we're gonna see these files. So they've had these, like you said, they've had these files for a long time. Plenty
Hmm.
of time to go through them and redact them. They're probably gonna be so redacted that you probably won't even see much. So what's next?
You're absolutely right. What's next? Um, I guess I want to show this one.
I think you're muted.
Let me see if I can bring this up.
Oops.
Hang on 1 second. 1 second. Because I think I know what's going on here.
Oh, that Tyrone's gone.
Hey, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
You're muted.
Muted.
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear fine.
Okay. I'm wondering what's going on with that. There's this video that kind of caught my eye that's a little funny. And I wanted to share it. Because it speaks a lot to some of the things that are going on. And I want to know what your thoughts on this is. Hold on.
Okay.
Let me reshare this out in a second.
I was gonna say because I can't see it. If you're trying to show me something, I can't see it.
Now I can't hear either one of you.
Oh no. Hang on. Playing with new technology here. It's quite interesting.
What's up? I love technology when it works right. When it
You know? When it works right.
Okay, now I can hear you.
All right. There's this video here.
Retirement age from 60.
Is there a way you can make the video bigger?
Work from now until you 70 to afford a basic living. Bro, I'm not doing that shit. What you gonna do? Just not have a job?
POV, the government raising the retirement age
Y'all got
to
me
70.
I work my whole mother life away
Good Lord.
just to barely get by. I'll take myself up out this bitch. I'm already not making it. What more can I lose? So the young generation would rather dome they fucking self than get a job. I knew y'all didn't want to work. Bitch, when you was a kid, you could work at Walmart and pay rent, lights, and groceries. I work at Walmart right now, and I'm scared to even let them hear me hoping I could do that shit with one of my chicks, because I might have to pay a fucking fee for thinking that shit. S&P 500 saw record-breaking profits last year. What you telling me that for? That's the case. Why the fuck can't he then? I work for $1 billion company, Walmart, and I'm struggling. There you go with that shit. I bet you want us to increase wages next time. Yeah. That would be fucking amazing. And see, then the price of stuff gonna go up. See, that's the problem I'm having, because maybe y'all need to fucking call Anonymous, and we need to get him in here and find out who hacked the motherfucking prices of shit. Because them bitches all been moving, and my wage ain't did nothing. Well, look, citizen, humans are living longer. So we have to extend the retirement age, right? Y'all making people live longer just so they can work long. What the fuck is wrong with y'all? Why the government ain't got no retirement ages? Y'all get to be rich zombies in that bitch, and you don't fucking start living good when you leave. Y'all be living good from day one. What's up with that shit? Maybe y'all need to go vote. I hate all politicians now. I got a better idea. Let's bring back assassinations. Young people.
To hear the notion, number one, that they want to raise the retirement age to 70, but not raise the wages.
Right.
But ultimately, at the end of it, like it was saying, all these people in government living good from day one that they entered into the government as politicians and don't have a retirement age for their position, be able to stay there until they die or until they
Mhm.
decide they want to
Mhm.
leave. But you get to dictate to us
Yeah.
when we get to retire and
Yeah.
how much we get allocated. The hypocrisy in that.
That's crazy. Like, I think if you work, you should be able to retire and enjoy your life. Not saying that you can't enjoy your life at 70, but the likelihood of you really living it up at 70, is slim.
Right.
Like, my God. But yeah, this is, we live in a really crazy country. I was looking at a girl's video earlier today. She hurt her knee. She has insurance.
Mm.
She works. She's been off her feet for some time, few weeks. She
Mhm.
got the bill. She had to pay $200 as a copay when she went to urgent care. She got the bill. Her portion is over $1,000. I'm like, well, what did
Ooh.
insurance pay? And I think
Well,
insurance kicked in like $600, $600 plus her 200, so that's 800. I'm like, and she still owes 1,000.
yeah. Yeah.
My gosh.
Yeah. Um, that makes you question, should there be a standardized price for all services,
Um.
or
Mhm.
should the insurance pay more based off of your premium like they say they are, but it doesn't seem like they are?
Yeah. Yeah. What I think the United States likes to make things very difficult. There are a lot of countries who have free health care. I don't know why they can't partner with the country. Let us see how you all do your health care. Like, I think Canada, Amsterdam, there's another one. I can't think of it off the top of my head. They all have free health care. Why can't we just pattern ours after that? Because you have so many insurance people and their hands are itchy.
Mhm.
It all comes down to money. They really don't care about the health of people, and it's
Agreed.
unfortunate. Um, Insurance, they could kick in way more than they do. Um, I got a bill I went to urgent care earlier this year, and I have pretty good health insurance. I think I only have to pay like 300 and something dollars. I mean, I was side eyeing that, so,
Right. Right.
but it
Because
could have been more.
the way our current healthcare system is set up, uh, there is a cost that they have pretty much broke down from a yearly cost to a monthly cost, and they broke it down even further to a biweekly or a weekly cost, where the companies that we work for pay a portion and we pay a portion.
Hmm.
That's how our healthcare is subsidized, by the company paying a portion in addition to what we pay. Some
Hmm.
companies pay less, some pay more.
Hmm.
To have the notion of, well, you can pick any healthcare that you want as a provider and pay as much or pay as little as you want to whoever you want as the way to go. The problem in that is, if you're only making $16,000 a year, or
Mm-hmm.
how can you afford to pay 16,000 for
Mm-hmm.
the year in healthcare costs?
Right. Yeah.
And the Republicans don't understand that there are people still to this day only earning $16,000 a year.
Exactly. Because when was the last time minimum wage was raised?
In the early 90s, it went from 575 to 725.
And you're supposed to survive off of that. Like, I don't
Think
understand.
think think about that. Survive off of that when SNAP SNAP benefits has stated that $6 a day is what people are surviving off of for meals.
Mm-hmm.
To say $7.25 an hour is enough to cover their entire life for the year
Yeah.
is absolutely insane because they're not even looking at housing. If it's costing me 30,000 a year to rent an apartment and I'm only making 16,000 for the year,
Mm-hmm.
I am coming up in the hole.
Yeah.
I
You
have
can't.
no money for food and I have no money for rent.
Yeah. Something. This is how you end up with unhoused people.
And they wonder
You.
where all the homelessness is coming from. This is why
Yeah.
there's no livable wages.
There's no livable wages. There's no affordable rent. There is. If you get hurt in an accident or you get come down with some illness and you are hospitalized, that could literally send you into the poorhouse. I know
Absolutely.
there was a homeless guy that used to he used to panhandle out near one of my former office. And he was they did a report on him on the news because he was very friendly. He wasn't a aggressive panhandler or anything. Um and he mentioned I had a job, I got sick, I was in a hospital. He was in the hospital for like 2 or 3 months. When he got discharged from the hospital, he was evicted, and then he was let go from his job.
Mhm.
And he didn't have any family here, and he was like his savings dwindled because he was trying to rent rooms and thing like that. Next thing you know, he ends up he's home, he's on the street. That's how it happens because this country, it doesn't take care of people.
Because they say it's too expensive.
Yeah.
And it's so insane to me to say it's too expensive for the government, but the government takes in so much money that they are able to issue people refund checks
Mm-hmm.
in terms of tax refunds. So for you to say that it's too expensive, but you're able to pay people back because they overpaid in taxes,
Mm-hmm.
and yet you're able to pull funds and send it to a whole another country.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody lying.
Yeah. We have money for this country has money for what they want to use it for. Unfortunately, they don't want to use it to help people. They don't want to help. They don't want to use the money to fund the food banks.
To understand that you want to paint the country as being a Christian nation but you don't want to fund the food banks for the poor and needy. There's a lot of hypocrisy going on there.
Mm-hmm.
I think this country loves to wave that flag around because it makes them feel good about themselves.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes down to action, they're like, nah, I'm not doing it unless I get something for doing it.
Mm-hmm. And I think in this current administration, when after the inauguration, and it was like Trump and Musk, you
Mhm.
don't know what they were doing with, because they gave him access to the treasury. They gave him
Yeah.
access to the treasury. They gave him access to Social Security. Um,
Hmm.
how do we know he just didn't go in there and just, oh, okay, I'm just gonna transfer these funds, zippity doo dah, and transfer the funds out. We don't know what he was doing. We may never find out.
Well, there is a paper trail of what he was doing
Mm,
that they pulled and redacted
of,
because unfortunately the things that they were doing became a little more sinister in nature
mm-hmm,
because what they began to find out was what they were saying is not what they were doing.
mm-hmm,
And it became a little sleight of hand thing, magic trick of
mm-hmm,
sorts. I'll say I'm looking for fraud, waste, and abuse over here, but I'm really trying to line my pockets with these government contracts. So I need to cut these people out of the contract as my competition so
mm-hmm,
I could elevate myself into space so I could profit from this. Is
mm,
what exactly we saw in the first 6 months.
mm-hmm. Yeah. And nobody checked him. They
Nobody
just
checked him.
they just let him do it. And I'm thinking to myself, first of all, he's not even an elected official, and you all are giving him access
That
that
part.
nobody should have access to.
That part.
And nobody said anything because, the Republicans control the House, the Senate, and the presidency. And since they all act like they don't know what they're doing because Kankles didn't tell them anything, they just went along with it. And then once he was gone, he was gone. And now everybody's sitting around looking like, okay, well, what exactly happened? How much of our information does this person have?
He got it all.
Yeah.
He got it all. He got every bit of what he wanted out of the deal. As Trump often says, he knows the art of the deal. And the deal was I'll give you all this information and access so you could set yourself up for your
Hmm.
future. He did that. Is he still a part of the government to this day? Yes.
Oh, of course.
Is it publicly presented? No.
No, he's definitely staying out the public eye.
Because what he got out of the deal is so invaluable that for him to have it publicly actually lessens the value.
Mm,
For it to be known that he has access to people's social security history and stuff, people don't want that to be known.
of course not.
because what are you doing with that information? Are you selling my information? Are you
Mm-hmm.
abusing that information? Are you stealing from me? It becomes a rabbit hole of things. And frankly, people start to paint it as fear mongering
Yeah.
when it actually is legit things, legit concerns. And the problem becomes, how can we not dilute that in the mix of the BS? Legit concerns versus the BS. BS, honestly, the Epstein files. It's BS
Mm.
because now that information is out, what is the Democrats going to do with it? Just sit
I
on it
don't
like they've
know.
been doing it. They're not going
Yeah.
to enact anything serious with it. Oh, we're
No.
going to impeach him. That could take years.
And we've seen the effects of impeaching him. Nothing happens. And he's
Nothing.
not ever going to step down from the presidency. Um, I don't know. I don't know why they are pushing so hard for these files. And, like I said, even if, okay, you release the files, you all still voted for a convicted felon.
At the end of the day,
Like,
they
what
voted
are we doing here?
for a
Like,
convicted felon.
one person is dead. Jeffrey Epstein is dead. So you gonna put
What?
Trump on trial for what? So for him to get up there and lie, he will lie under oath. He's done it
Mhm.
before.
Yep.
So I don't know what the purpose of releasing the files is now, because I don't nothing is going to happen to him. Okay, we read the files. Okay, we found out he was a dirty, disgusting human being. Okay, we most of us knew this. He was messing with girls, young girls.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we know this. So what? I mean, is this going to cause a shift in the Republican Party? Are they going to start backing away from him? Are they going, I don't know.
Nope.
Honestly,
Uh-uh.
I don't know.
I don't think so, because you had Matt Gaetz as a prime example. Some of them backed away, some of them didn't.
Yeah.
The whole reason why he's not in front of people's faces is because he decided to resign himself,
Mm-hmm.
to recuse himself from being a part of this cabinet because of the potential of what it will bring.
Mm-hmm.
Do we see Donald Trump recusing himself out of office
No,
and allowing JD Vance to take over? No.
of course not. He does.
Mm-mm.
He likes the power and the tension and the adoration too much.
And to know
Um,
that a lot of these things that he's doing is to get the I can't even say it, accolades.
mhm, yeah,
That's the whole reason why he wants it. This is why he wants the Nobel Peace Prize. But
yeah,
yet
and
you're about to go to war with a whole nother country named Venezuela.
yeah, I haven't really been keeping up. I did hear about Venezuela and possibly Nigeria,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm just like, what are you doing? Like, I find myself asking that question several times throughout the day, rhetorically, of course.
That's a loaded question after the last 10 months.
Yeah, yeah.
What are you doing? And when he say stuff, you're like, what do you mean by that? Like, what?
Right.
Like, are you serious right now? It is a question that these are questions that come up in real life. Like, how can you do that? Can you do that? Like, huh?
Mm-hmm.
And it's apparently so, because we allow it as a people. Because, like, The whole reason why we got to the Epstein file is because we held his feet to the fire about the campaign promise on it.
Yeah.
If we stopped asking about it, it would have just went away like Elon Musk did.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I do believe the public has the right to know the nefarious things that he was doing on that man's island, and at his own property, Mar-Lago, because there was stuff going on there too.
Mhm.
Um, the public has a right to know. You have the right to know who you put in office. Um, but there's not going to be no repercussions that he faces.
And
He's going to act like, nothing. Oh, this is nothing. This is fake news. I barely knew the guy. Okay, well, I don't know about most people, but do you invite people that you barely know to your wedding? He
facts.
was he was there. He was having a good old time. There's pictures of it. There's pictures of them partying together. Um, he really he's like a little kid. You know how, like, when you were a kid and you did something that you weren't supposed to do and your parents ask you, and of course, you 3 and 4, you lying like a rug. No, but they know you did it. You know deep inside that you did it, but if I say no, they'll leave me alone. I
Facts.
mean, that's his logic in life.
And to know that he knows what he's doing
Mm-hmm.
and paint it as if he doesn't know what he's doing
Mm-hmm.
is more sinister to me than anything that is coming out right now.
Mm-hmm.
to know that he could say one thing and do another thing and no one really catch it and
Yeah.
do anything to him for it because he's the president.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think that's the whole reason why he ran in the first place is because he knew he could get away with things
Mm-hmm.
that he wouldn't be able to get away with as a regular citizen.
Yeah. I mean, he did it his first presidency. He made quite a bit of money during his first presidency.
In the
He's
stock
making
market,
he's making way more this time
killing
around. And for the people who thought, "Oh, he's going to stop the war over in Israel. He's going to stop all of that." No, he wants to build luxury property on the Holy Land,
yeah, in the Gaza.
like
In the Gaza.
a resort. Oh, okay. What
And
would
they're gonna
Jesus
let
do?
him. They're gonna let him do it.
Yeah, they're gonna let him. I think that is just he just no they are leveling Hamas. They are leveling that to build like luxury resort beachfront properties.
And to think you're gonna do this to places like the Panama Canal too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Why? Because you want to control the flow of money because there's so much money that travels in cargoes, ships and everything through the Panama Canal, and you're like, yeah, if I can just take over that,
Mm-hmm.
I can control the flow of wealth. And this is the whole thing behind the tariffs is like, well, I could control the flow of wealth. And when I control that, I can manipulate the stock market up and down and be able to pop in and out and make the money that I want to make that I
Mm-hmm.
couldn't do before as a regular person because I didn't have this power and access. To
Yeah.
know how much money they made back in April when they hit everybody with the initial wave of tariffs and then pulled it back
Mm-hmm.
the next month, is insane how much money they made. To the point that his son got in on it. Barron Trump got in on the whole scheme of things. It made 90. How is this not a violation of some type of statute or something?
It is a violation, but they're ignoring it. They are, just like they did during his first presidency, they are ignoring it. Um, I wanted to ask you, what do you foresee in 2026? Like, especially like the first quarter of 2026.
I've been looking at the first part of 2026, January, February, March to April of 2026. So coming out of 2025, I began to see our country infrastructure have what I would call like these sinkholes, have issues where, and we're kind of seeing this happening right now with the farmers losing their lands. That's
Mm,
one of the
mhm,
biggest ones. This thing with the LGBT community sparking up again is something
mhm,
that I started to focus on and try to understand the nature of what their goal in that is. And it's still a little foggy for me to understand
mm,
what that goal is. But then when I start looking at the stock market, there is something insane going on with the stock market that I
mhm,
feel like going into the new year, we're going to have these bouncing ball effect, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, until we get into the warmer months,
mm,
meaning the April, May, June, July.
mhm,
And I kind of just walk back from that and just sitting with it, trying to just like piece together what I've been seeing. And then it's just like, all right, Lord, how can I say this to the people that will listen, either on Faithful Warrior or here, about this thing and how to navigate what to
mhm,
do? Because a lot of people 401ks will be hurt in that.
mhm,
A lot of people who have put their trust in the stock market, just trying to leverage their money against their homes,
mhm,
are going to feel the effects. And I'm like, I really pray that this isn't the housing collapse that they were talking about and been
mm.
trying to incite for a while now, at least 2 years now.
Okay.
They've been trying to call for this housing market crash like back in 2008. And it's like, well, the elements aren't there because it's a seller's market right now.
Mm,
But the on the back end of that is there's so many new homes that are being built and pushed up. This is why you have President Trump throwing the idea out there. Yeah, let's have a 50-year mortgage.
mm,
because
And a
they're trying to
15-year
figure out.
car loan.
Yeah, they're trying to figure out how can they keep money flowing for as long as they can, and knowing that poor people have to leverage loans and mortgages to survive from day to day. They're like, well, we can kind of keep things going as long as we want, as long as the president doesn't enforce policies against it. So we can issue a 50, 100-year mortgage on somebody, because what they're initially looking at is how cheap is it going to be under 100 years mortgage. They're not thinking that they're going to have to pay it off. They're not
Mm-hmm.
thinking what will be the repercussions of a market crash, a loss of a job, and ultimately the loss of their home because they can't afford to continue to make the payments because they're going to recall that loan back. Think about what was going on with Red Lobster last year,
Mm-hmm.
where they lent they they took a deal where they pretty much sold their properties to a mortgage company and allowed that mortgage company to charge them the market rate until the market rate started increasing. And then at some point, the market rate was too high for them to bear. And they're like, oh, well, we're going to have to file for bankruptcy. Imagine doing that to the American people, where
Mm-hmm.
they have these credit card loans and mortgages out here and car loans out here where the interest rates are so high and the payment rate is so high that they can't afford to pay it. And now you have to have all these massive repossessions and foreclosures, and the government gets to come in and take the land, auction it off, or resell it off to the next person. It's a sadistic way of manipulating the flow of money. And
Mm-hmm.
America itself has a problem with money because we are in this constant state of we gotta have it. It's literally how the song says. Money, 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 money. And it's like
And it's true though. You got to have money. You got
you
to have money in
got
order to live. Mm-hmm.
you can't live without the money.
No, you
And
can't.
they know this.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're trying to the ultra wealthy are trying to position themselves in a way in which everybody has to go through them. They're the gatekeepers. It's no longer the banks that's the gatekeepers. It's the ultra wealthy.
Mm-hmm.
And this ultimately plays into the hand of the have and the have nots. It's like, well, in order for you to have it, you have to go to those that have.
The diamond scarf. I like it because it's very
And
versatile. You can wear it around your neck, around your hair.
as we go through the flow of lack to having to beg for things, and ultimately that's what Stacey Abrams was talking about in a video I was playing earlier, where you have the people having to go to the government, having to go to people of power to beg for what they need,
Mm-hmm.
is a new level of fascism that this country isn't nowhere near ready for. And they don't understand that the liberties that we're giving up to them are going to put us in a state of movies like The Hunger Games or Diversion or Total Recall or some of the other ones. I think there's this movie that Justin Timberlake was in which your lifespan is tied to your currency, and the currency is based off the time that you have, and you work to gain time to live. And if your time hits zero, you die. To think that our world could become something like that,
Yeah.
you have to pray against that, because honestly, that is a new level of witchcraft that this country has never experienced before.
Mhm.
And they don't understand that they're under the spell in which the rat race of having to find a job and try to make it a safe, secure job so you can survive from day to day, month to month, year to year. Your health be down. Your mental fortitude be down. It's either I have it or I don't. And what do you do in that? Because when you don't have it more often than you do have it, desperation seeps in.
Yes,
And
it
that
does.
it puts you in this constant state of fight or flight, and more fight than flight. And you'll find yourself doing things that you would not normally do, and it will put you out of being character that you normally have. You're in this state of, well, it's easier for me to rob somebody than for me to have a second job or a third job,
Mm-hmm.
or for me to partner up with someone, put their resources with my resources, and we build something. I got to get it for me and get it how I need to get it. Is a world that I cringe at looking at it prophetically, like looking at that kind of world, because all humanity to me in that kind of world is lost. There is no empathy. There is no rhyme or reason or relation between people. It's transactional at that point.
And it's sad to say, but it's the truth. Mm-hmm.
So, so we're just gonna be on this roller coaster for the first another 6 months.
I don't see it going beyond April, May, because there are some other issues that are coming into play.
Okay.
More political and infrastructure issues because of the way they're going to approach dismantling departments. Like right now, they're already looking at the Department of Education. I know they're going to be looking at the Housing Authority again, and coming back around to healthcare and Medicaid and Social Security. Like to know that the way that their mindset is, these are symptoms of a greater problem in America. And so if we could cherry pick through these things and put what we want into a basket and present it to American people as a thing that they need. It's a necessity for you to get behind this. And once they get behind this, oh, we got them on the hook now, is their approach. And I'm like, boy, I know the American people are a lot smarter than this. To know that they're selling wolf tickets.
Mm.
To know that they're out here passing out phony checks. Like they're talking about giving us stimulus checks off of the tariffs. I'm like, how, sir? How are you giving out stimulus checks? And to paint it in the narrative that is a stimulus rebate or a royalty to people, you're playing on people's hopes. And I think that theater is more dangerous for society because like I said earlier, the level of desperation that people have when they're on their last, and to know that they're willing to put people in that state on purpose, like they did with the snaps. I pray for a better outcome. I pray for the opposite of that, because if what we saw these last 30 to 45 days is just a little preview,
Mm-hmm.
American people can't handle that. Mm-mm.
I got your drink again. Well, I learned.
The only way that American people could survive that is if the American people come together against it. But as Stacey stated in the video, when you pin the American people against each other and they blaming each other for
Mm-hmm.
the real problem, they're too busy fighting that fight to realize where the real fight is.
Yeah. How can we, like, I think a lot of us have done as well as we can throughout this last 10, 11 months. But I mean, like going forward, I think it's important, we have to like build community
Absolutely.
and
Without community, we find ourselves in a state of being that lone sheep in the field that
mm-hmm,
the devourer, aka the wolf,
yeah,
amongst us can easily attack.
yeah,
And people don't think of it as spiritually being attacked versus
mm-hmm,
physically being attacked. It always manifests spiritually first. That's the
Yeah.
problem. Like a lot of people don't understand that a lot of what went into the campaigns was the initial spiritual attack before the physical attack ensued this year. To say they're eating the pets, they're eating the cats, they're eating the dogs.
Mm-hmm.
To not think that that is an attack on a set of people, you're out of touch with reality, in my opinion, because that could be anybody. Just swap out the words. I said this a few months ago where when the Irish first came to America and they were blamed for the cause of people's problems, society turned against them. And they did it quick.
Mm-hmm. I will say one good thing that has come out of this, I think it really opened up our eyes to, we have always tried to be on the right side of things. We have always tried to vote the right way to kind of, because we could kind of foresee down the line, okay, if he gets in office, this is going to be really bad. Not just for us, it's going to be bad for everybody. I think that we kind of woke up and started investing in ourselves more,
Mm-hmm.
our communities more, and just kind of like overall, just kind of just taking better care of ourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. We're not out there with them. We're not protesting. We're not doing none of that. We're just kind of like, no, you got to get yourselves out of this. This is not our fight. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and because the second we show up, it's going to turn violent. Not because we're making it violent, but because they've been waiting.
Right.
Like, come outside. We're not going to jump you. No, we're not falling for that.
Nah, fool me once.
Right.
Shame
So
on me.
I do like the fact that we have taken a collective step back and we are just focusing on trying to get ourselves and our families and our communities in a good place, making sure we're good.
It's because we're tired of
Mhm.
fighting the fight. And unfortunately, when we fight so hard and we're left standing on the battlefield by ourselves for so long, we're like, hey, no, I'm not doing this no more. I'm not being the sacrificial lamb for your salvation
Mhm.
anymore. It's I'm tired.
Mhm.
That's what we saw coming out of 2024. People are
Mhm.
like, I'm tired. Y'all take up this battle now because
Yeah.
I'm out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
And we got to think about how long we've fought this fight from post slavery to now. And to know that everything, unfortunately, has not been, um, how you would say, been appreciated along the way. Like people in the society will reap from the benefits, but they won't credit the source.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly, Tyrone. Thank you for saying that because that's true. Mhm. Mhm.
And I think that's what hurts the most is like, hey man, we put blood, sweat, and tears on the line for this, and you taking advantage of it. And now when we're asking for a, a royalty on what we already put into, and we're not even directly talking about reparations. That's a portion of it. We're just talking about honoring the work and sacrifice that went into shaping this nation. Nah, y'all did nothing. Okay. Well, why y'all don't want to continue doing stuff? We enjoy what you do. And then they're like, nah, we good. Y'all built this, right? Keep building without us. Oh, no, 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 no. We need y'all. Why, how did it become you did nothing, but now you need us?
Mm.
I There's a set of people in this country that are heartbroken by the actions of those that don't want to honor the progress, the time, money, ideas that have been deposited into shaping this nation into what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And the vast majority of it is prejudice, and the other half is just pure racism.
Mhm.
To know that we have a regime that's willing to exploit that and flip it against people,
Mm-hmm.
like Destin said, we're too far gone.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. We are definitely past the point of no return. And if we do, I know the midterms are next year. Um, and now is the time the Democrats get your messaging and your strategy together. This is the time that you all should be doing this. I don't know well, I know what the problem is because the old guard just
Mm-hmm.
refuses to step aside.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like, you might not like the way um, Jasmine Crockett speaks, but I find her relatable, and a lot of people will find her relatable. Let her speak. Let AOC speak. I mean, this is really crazy that we're going into a new year. The midterms are going to be in next November,
Yep.
and all the seats are up for a reelection. This is the time to be hammering out your messaging, reminding people we are not the party in control. We are not the party that took your food benefits. But I don't, you can't just rely on people just, oh, I'm tired of this. I'm just going to vote Democrat. No, because people are going to, they vote the way they vote. You have to
I,
give them something.
I'm not even sure if that is totally the way to go now, because the rhetoric of we're the anti-Republican
Mm-hmm.
establishment isn't enough. I'm the
Yeah.
opposite of that party. Come join me isn't enough, because people are a lot more wiser than they were
Mm-hmm.
10 years ago, meaning from 2016 to 2026. It's like it's you got a lot more wiser people out there, and a lot of them are young people because
Mm-hmm.
they want to see what can you do for me now.
Right.
And for somebody to say, yeah, I'm gonna give you a $2,000 start stimulus check. Oh, okay. Where do I
two
sign up for
thousand
that?
dollars is not nearly enough to make up for the damage that he's done.
They don't care. I'm getting $2,000. That's $2. That's 2,000 that I ain't had yesterday. And
Mm-hmm.
the notion that they're not gonna hold their feet to the fire for that is more scary to me
Yeah.
because I know when Biden was fighting against Trump the last time, and he's like, "You're gonna get stimulus as long as you vote." That's what got Biden in the office. Ultimately, the stimulus check. Trump saw that and said,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh, that's how y'all want to move? Okay, I'll dangle the carrot. Y'all want me in? I'll give you a stimulus check. I, I want to make sure my name is on the check when it comes in the mail." He literally said that.
Yeah.
To know that's the kind of games that the Republicans are willing to play with, and the
Mm-hmm.
Democrats don't understand that kind of game,
Right.
it, you're setting yourselves up for a big loss. Big old loss. Because it's a new form of playing politics. And I think the Democrats are so afraid of trying something new and something bold and fresh
Mm-hmm.
that
Yeah.
they only want to stick to what had been working,
Yeah.
even
And
though
I
it's
really,
broken. It's broken.
it's very much broken. I think that they don't be afraid to get down in the mud with them. Like when
And it's
they go low, go low, go the lowest you can go. No,
this
we're
is
not
what's
gonna be
working for
upset.
Jasmine. That's what's working for Jasmine.
Mm-hmm.
Jasmine's they will present, oh, Trump said this about you. What do you have to say to Trump? F Trump.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, a Democrat said F Trump. Why not? When he's out here talking about she's an idiot, she's low IQ,
Yeah.
as
He's
the
very
soft
intimidated by
things.
black women or women in general.
He was definitely scared of Kamala
Mm-hmm.
because she had a machine that they ain't used to seeing that much money flowing behind a candidate.
Mm-hmm.
And to be honest, I think the Dems know how to raise money better than Republicans. Far better than Republicans. What they do with that money? It's not enough to me.
No, they need better strategists, democratic strategists, to kind of help them with their messaging, to help them appeal to those lost voters, those uninformed voters, um, because I'm worried about the midterms. Like they had built up so much momentum from the special elections that were held
Mhm.
November 4th, and then after that. a few days later, 8 Democrats who are no longer running for office or either retiring, you're going to unravel all that goodwill that you've built up to strike a deal. I was like, I wanted the Democrats to kind of hold the line. Don't give in. Nope, don't come to the table. But I don't know what was the purpose of these particular 8 Democrats that decided, oh, let's try to strike some type of deal and reopen the government. This was not your fight to reopen. It's like they take 2 steps forward and then they take 30 steps back.
Yeah, because ultimately, the way I said it to my wife the other day, they looked at a crystal ball, and in that crystal ball, going into the holidays, they saw how much worse things were going to get for the
Mm-hmm.
people in their district, and a they got scared.
Mm-hmm.
They got scared of what that will turn into going into the holidays. And instead of coming together as a party, they self preservation sunk in.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I see happening in the future. There's more self preservation than community, collective.
Yeah.
This is why many people have been calling for new parties to enter into the space. Instead of us having a two-tier party system, we should have more parties. They tried this with the Green Party.
Mm-hmm.
That was a flop because all essentially that's the liberals. The progressive liberals. And
Yep.
for them to form their own party, they would need a valuable candidate that will energize a following. They don't have that.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Unfortunately, the Democratic Party doesn't have someone that can energize the party anymore. You can't rely on Joe Biden. You can't rely on Barack Obama. To back Gavin Newsom, he walks like a duck, quacks like a duck. But to me, he doesn't look like a duck. Is that enough for current society? No, not not when Trump got all this energy behind him
Mm-hmm.
and can turn it off and on at a moment's notice. That is insane. And to know that he knows all the right things to say to get certain parts of the what they call the Republican Party amped up
Mm-hmm.
to rally behind him. Democrats, y'all not ready to fight against that.
No.
Y'all
Until they
had y'all
until they
had y'all chance with Kamala, but
yeah.
the things that y'all didn't say that y'all were doing, y'all needed to say more.
Mm-hmm.
And not saying it, you set yourself up. They're like, well, we needed more time, more time. 107 days. Yeah. It might not be enough time on paper, but in this society,
Mm-hmm.
that's plenty of time.
Yeah. She I'm not saying that she could not have won with that shortened campaign. Um, I think the excitement, the initial excitement for her was real,
Mm-hmm.
but I also believe that I think it was 52% of white women voted for Trump.
Yep.
They could have been standing arm in arm at a Kamala Harris rally, cheering and shouting, but they went into that voting booth and did something very different.
I think it was, unfortunately, the small thing. What was the small thing that was made into a mountain? Her laugh, the way that she talked, this nasally whiny thing. Like, for the Republicans to harp on that and like promote it as a negative trope for her,
Mm-hmm.
it worked. To say, oh well, he's a convicted felon, that didn't matter to them.
Mm-mm. Nope.
Those little small quirks, they attribute those little things as a part of your personality, then it echoes into how you would govern and lead. And that became a detriment to your campaign.
Which is very silly.
It's so silly to know that something so small could be pushed to the forefront and made so big. Like, even when they debunked this whole thing about her track record as a prosecutor in San Francisco, it was like, well, she still put people in jail, man.
Because she's a prosecutor. My God.
It's like, wait a minute. That was her job. What are you talking about? Well, she she's the vice president. She ain't did nothing as the vice president. It's like, wait a minute. Do you know what the vice president do?
No, they
Did,
don't.
I mean, did Al Gore do a whole bunch of stuff? Did Dick Cheney do a whole bunch of stuff? No. It's besides the point. And it's like, listen to what you're saying, people. Like you're making unrealistic things as the reason why you don't like it. Just say you don't like her because you personally just can't relate to her.
Mm-hmm.
Or she does personally, she doesn't appeal to you. Don't make it about her record when you don't know nothing about the record and you only believe on whispers around the world, rumors that's founded to be untrue, and you still, I don't believe that. You can't believe everything that you see on the internet, but yet you believe what you see on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
I saw it on Twitter, man. Everything on Twitter can't be wrong. Like, so if it's in the New York Times, you're like, it might be right. You can't believe everything that's in the news, man. It's fake news out there. It's like, come on, people. Like, when are we going to get back to reality? Is the question that I have.
That's $1 million question.
Are we ever going to get back to reality? That's my question. I don't think we are.
I,
That's
I don't, I don't know if people are strong enough to get back to reality.
I have to agree with that, Tyrone. I don't think certain people are not strong enough to get back to reality. But some people want to, and some people will, but most of them will not.
Because a friend sent me a post the other day. Did you guys know that Chick-fil-A is created vending machines that's open 24/7, but
I knew
shut
that.
down for
Yes.
Sunday? They still close the vending machine for Sunday.
That don't even make sense. But
And I'm like, what's the point of having a 24/7 access to meal, but you're gonna shut it down on this one particular day? Okay. That's y'all beliefs. That's what y'all gonna stick to. That's the reality that y'all have crafted. Okay, whatever. How's that gonna help anybody in this world? And ultimately, it doesn't help at all. It doesn't. Um, some of the lighter things that I saw on the internet, there, a lady has been reunited with her family after being detained and pretty much taken away from her family since June. But unfortunately, her husband is still out there. They deported him to Honduras. And the whole reason why she has been released was because she had a decent lawyer. Echoing the have and the have nots thing all over. And to end things, I have a funny post. Uh, I I like pets, mostly dogs and birds. And when I saw this, I couldn't help but chuckle because it was just insanely cute to see. And hopefully, this thing will bring it up. Let me see if I can make it big. Nah, that's about as big as it's gonna get, I think. Let's see. Hold on. Nope. Yeah, that's about as big as it's gonna get.
The fact that he was willing to sacrifice the little dog means he been trying to get rid of that little motherfucker for a long time. Like he got single dog syndrome and he want the owner to himself bad.
Oh my god. I couldn't help but laugh at that. Where this daggone dog, they are petrified. I don't know if people understand that seeing this floor mat that has like a sinking hole in it to pets that come across it, they don't they can't perceive the depth of field. And so having this dog pick up the little dog as a sacrifice and just toss it on there to see, I was just tickled by that. And oh my gosh. I wanted to share that one as a lighter end to all the deep conversation. And hopefully this will be the flow of things here on Real Vibrations. I thank you guys for coming up and sharing your thoughts and feelings. And
thank you for having me,
guys
Tyrone.
are more than welcome to come anytime. I am grateful for your presence.
Thank you.
I will definitely be back here next week with you.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm gonna try to make it an earlier time at 8 on Wednesdays, instead of 8:30.
Yeah.
Because
I'm available anytime. So just when you're live, just drop the link so I can come up with you.
Okay.
I enjoy that. I enjoy being up here with you. So I would like to be on here with you as much as I can. Thank you very much.
Cool. Appreciate it. And I'll say this: go ahead and give people your social media so they can follow you guys.
My social media is Dustin Butler 700. My Instagram, my Facebook is Dustin Butler. Thanks for Tyrone for having me on tonight. Appreciate it very much. Hopefully, I'll be back in here next week.
Yeah.
Oh, what's my social media? I think I'm on Instagram. Love Life Kim, LUVLIFE Kim on Instagram. I don't know my Facebook. I don't think I don't have it under my name. And TikTok, I think it's the same as my Instagram. I'm really bad at this.
It's okay.
I
It's
can't
okay.
remember anything.
It is okay, Miss Kim. I know you're new to this, and you will be true to this. Just hang in there with us.
Will do.
And like I echoed earlier, you can find my music on all streaming platforms but Spotify, because we're beefing at the moment, as TD McCollum. And just follow us here at 8 p.m. on Unveiled Vibrations. If you got something funny or something that you want to send to me, you can email me at Mr. TD McCollum, or you can find me on. Where did it go? Oh, it's up there. Instagram or TikTok at Mr. TD McCollum. Send it to my inbox. I will see it definitely, and I will follow you back if you follow me. And on Saturdays, I'll be back right up here with my compadres JoJo Speaks and Prophetic Fire Reiki at 10 a.m., where we're going to come together and pray and read a devotional and kind of catch up with you guys and enjoy the time. I thank you guys again for coming up.
You're welcome.
I'm going to get out of here and
oops. Have a good night, everybody.
Have a good night. And as always, if no one told you that they love you, I do.
Love you, Tyrone. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me on.
Definitely. We out of here. Good night.
See y'all next week.
Peace.